All right, hopefully I nail this review today. Sorry. Anyway, today we are going to be looking at the 18 gauge brad nail guns, two of the top cordless ones on the market, no gas, all battery. See if they're actually going to be worth getting. Are they going to replace your pneumatic? Are you not going to have a hose around anymore ever again? We'll see. Alright, so these two bad boys, Milwaukee has been on the market now for a couple months. Dewalt has been on the market for, I think, over a year. Dewalt has an excellent lineup of all their nail guns, a lot of them. Milwaukee, this is their second attempt. A lot of people know about their first one. It wasn't the greatest. I used it a lot. I got used to it, but it recoil, not setting nails, big driver marks. It just too big. It was pretty much garbage. But this one, they listened, they improved. That's one good thing Milwaukee does do. They listen to feedback a lot and they try to make as many improvements as they can. Dewalt, they've had a NICAD version of this. They've had cordless guns around for a while, so they've had a lot of practice, and all that shows because they've really gotten it right. So first thing, let's look at the Milwaukee a little bit, since it's the newest. So it takes any 18-volt battery. The 2.0 is pretty much, if you're running a bigger battery on it, it kind of throws the balance off a little bit, and 2.0 lasts for a long time, so 2.0 is no problem. So it's got a button right here. You turn it on and off. You have to turn it on to fire it. So you push it for a couple seconds, turns on, push it for a couple seconds, turns off. You hit the other mode to go in this sequential or bump fire mode right there. Really easy to do. The other old Gen 1, you had to hold the button for a long time to turn it off. This turns off in just a couple seconds holding it down. It's got the hook either side. You can put it on either side. The magazine, it's a plastic magazine, but I've dropped it a couple times and no problems with it. Also, it's a quick release right there for your jams. And the magazine, or none of that's in the way. It's real slim right there, right around here, so you have excellent field of vision to see where you're putting your nail, and also you can get into some good angles because there's nothing in the way. The old one, the adjustment was too close and stuff, and you couldn't get in a good angle. Right here on the other side of the magazine, it's got two extra nose bumpers on it. They're actually different shapes. One's a little bit narrower, one's a little bit wider, and then you got one that's kind of in the middle, and they store real easily right on there. So this thing, nail gun, here's where all the motor is. It's got a nitrogen gas spring cylinder, what drives the pin. That's right there. So this thing actually feels pretty balanced because they've spread the weight out kind of all along the whole thing. I really do think this has actually really good balance. See if I'm holding it right here in the middle like that. It's not nose heavy, it's not back heavy, it's just balancing pretty straight like that. And it's fairly slim for a gun that is battery powered. You know, you're not going to have one that's as slim as a pneumatic at all. Also, the depth adjustment right here, real easily. It has a positive click for each little in and out you do. DeWalt, it's done by a whole different system as far as it's got like a drive pinwheel that goes into it, but it's set up. The other thing's kind of similar. You don't have to turn it on and off. You just, if the battery's in it, it's charged, it's good to go. It's got a sequential and a bump fire mode down at the bottom. The hook can go either side. Again, 2.0 battery, fits on it real good, lasts a long time. I don't see any reason to go with a bigger battery. You got the two extra storage for your bump pieces right here. And the Dewalt comes with a nice little pretzel piece for kind of going, you have a little bump out of molding. It doesn't slip off that molding real easily. And then also it's got the quick release up top too. And the depth adjustment is right here. 2 lights. It does have a lock where you can lock it out because it doesn't have an on and off button. So you basically, as soon as you put the battery on, it's good to go. Let's talk about performance of both of these guns. So they both perform really, really good. Almost real close to your pneumatic guns. So this room I'm in here, I've been working on, it's all stain grade, finished maple, and I haven't had any problems with these sinking and leaving really nice holes, so that way the putty stick can go over it and it can disappear. So even like pieces like a double piece 2-inch nail all the way into solid maple, buried them, no problems with either of them. So if you get the microscope out and look, you might have a tinier, cleaner hole on the Dewalt, but I mean, there's not that much of a difference between the clean holes on either of them. They both leave really good holes and sink 99.9% of the time. Every once in a while you're going to have that, one that doesn't sink. You'll have that with any pneumatic gun too. One of the differences between these is you pull and shoot this, it makes no noise. That ramps up, but you can shoot them both equally just as fast. Even if this one's ramping up, it shoots. So this one's a little bit noisier if you get annoyed by that. But the Milwaukee is a little bit slimmer. This one is not as balanced as the Milwaukee because all the mechanisms are up in the head, so it's a little bit less balanced. So to kind of keep it up, you might use a little bit more wrist strain keeping it up, where it just feels a little bit less heavy in the head, so you're not putting, I don't think, as much pressure on your wrists and stuff. But as this one, even though this one's a little bit lighter. So I do prefer the Milwaukee just a little bit better than the Dewalt, just because of that reason. It's a little bit more balanced and it's a little bit more slimmer, so we can get in its places a little bit easier than the Dewalt can't. But no reason to say this gun, if you're on the Dewalt platform and you need an 18 gauge gun, you could probably get this, and I'm not going to speak for everybody, but you could probably almost get away with getting rid of your pneumatic over this. If you're, depending on what you do, it might be different. Production trim guy or something, you might, I don't know, might go through batteries quicker or something, but for what I do, a lot of this higher end custom stuff, both of these, I haven't touched a 18 gauge pneumatic gun. I've been running these pretty much all the time. They've come a long way. They're still a little bit heavier and bigger than the pneumatic gun. I think that might always be the case. We'll see, down the road how much better they get. But it'd be cool to see what happens with the guns, especially maybe because DeWalt's already got a really good lineup, and hopefully Milwaukee continues to kind of build improved second-gen guns, because some of the other ones they have out aren't as good as this one, and hopefully they come out with some nicer ones that are pretty nice, like this one. Hope the review was informative. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram for all my daily stories, maybe some giveaways coming up, we'll see, and other cool stuff. So thanks.